Hello you wonderful people. Today I will be briefly explaining why Elden Ring is the worst from soft games so far, in terms of its multiplayer. If you have clicked on this video with the expectation of me bashing on the PvE, then I'm sorry to disappoint. The PvE is fantastic, and is probably the best from soft have created to date, and you should definitely play it. But I digress. The multiplayer so far is very lackluster, and I'm not impressed. My expectations were never high for this game's multiplayer standards, as anyone with a brain knows that from soft games are PvE games trying to be PvP games, except this time they are failing. I will try my best to outline the good and bad points of the Elden Ring multiplayer. Here we go. So let's start off with what's good. The lack of no true combos is refreshing, and puts an extra layer of depth to the PvP. This means R1 is no longer a true combo like in Dark Souls 3. How does this add depth? Well, a lot of weapons in this game now have a 50-50 style of play. If you are hit with the first R1 from a straight sword, you have to make the 50-50 read, to avoid either a second R1 or a roll catch, and some of the weapon's second R1 is unreactable, making the PvP experience very enjoyable as you need to rely on reads as well as reactions. Different movesets have been added to all types of weapons such as jumping R1 and R2. The same goes for the running attacks. You have two different options for how you want to approach these types of attacks, and not just be limited to one or the other. The soft caps for each level has been raised substantially, which is a good thing as making builds at rune level 125 actually takes some brain power. All you people complaining that the meter should be at 150 have no idea how to make build sacrifices. Anyway, the addition of Ashes of War is brilliant. We can choose what weapon art we want on different weapons to adhere to different uses, and I think that is fantastic. Now this sounds great, so let's talk about what makes the multiplayer so damn awful. I hate to shit on developers, but this has to be said. There are two things that have made a return from Dark Souls 3, and that is Quickstep and Death Blight, otherwise known as Curse. Back in the release of DS3, dark weapons used to inflict curse build-up. This was patched out very quickly. Now the Death Blight build-up might be a bit slower, however this mechanic of dying immediately due to a status effect is stupid. So Quickstep is back, and its brother Bloodhound Step. Quickstep so far looks to be nerfed pretty well, however I have not tested how Quickstep works as soon as the funny latency gets involved. Now imagine Quickstep. Okay, now imagine Quickstep just got shit-faced and snorted 8 lines of coke, and now you have Bloodhound Step, an ability that takes no FP and is faster than running. I should not have to explain why this is dumb. Both Death Blight and Quickstep making a return is stupid to me. It's almost as if FromSoft took 2 steps forward then 10 steps back. Okay, so now we have passive poise. This is a mechanic that allows you to not get staggered when hit by another weapon. This removes all kinds of spacing from the game, as every duel will just be a who can stack the most poise, have the fastest status effect build up, and who can mash R1 the hardest. It's dumb. Speaking of status effects, the way they have been implemented is wrong. The damage is okay, could be toned down a little. However, once a status effect has built up, you should not be staggered like you have just been hit with Thor's mighty hammer. Being stuck in this animation can literally last long enough to almost be bled or frostbitten again. Shields are another issue. I don't want to bring this point up, but the best medium shield so far looks like a fucking Dorito. I just want my edgy Black Knight shield back. Jokes aside, shields are busted and need more counters such as guard breaks. The fingerprint shield is literally a concrete slab that cannot be penetrated. Also, shields got buffed because it's from soft, so GG. Shield poking also needs addressed. Why it has tracking is beyond me, and I have heard thrusting weapons are now banned in tournaments, for good reason, as it is easily spammable, and does not have any other counter apart from another shield poking thrusting sword with maybe some rot and bleed thrown on it. Now to wrap up my rant, I want to talk about my biggest complaint, which is the summon limit. Having 4 players maximum in a world feels wrong, and it's not my taste. It is usually 3 phantoms and 1 invader, which isn't all that fun, especially when people get to grips with the game and understand what they are doing. Finding 2 phantoms and getting a second invader is rare. This means invaders can't work together. to defeat a host, and the host doesn't have to work at all, since piling 3 players on 1 invader usually does the job. The summon limit should at least be raised to 5. 2 summons and 2 invaders including the host. This would balance things out. I'm aware the limitations of last gen console are a thing, but why games are being made to support PS4 in 2022 is beyond me. Sorry not sorry. If any of this wasn't clear, this is my opinion, so don't get heated over what I've been talking about. Anyway, I think I have taken up enough of your time, so thank you for watching. I'm uncertain whether or not I will stay on Elden Ring as I want to help fix this game and make it the best, but at the same time it feels like I'm smashing my head against a brick wall. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe so you can see what shit I come up with next. I love you all.